What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. Let's get into this conversation/reality chat. All right, I'm going to play a few clips, but listen, Carlos King, he had some things to say about some of the people on his shows, and he was co-hosting TGIF on Fox Soul in place of Funky Dineva on this past Friday. I had no idea because I usually listen to the replays of the show, but I was like, oh my God, can I make it through this? Because he is just obnoxious. And you know, what was funny to me when he was co-hosting, he was talking to Claudia and he was talking about his haters. That word hater is such an overused phrase, just like the term when people say someone's jealous of someone because they're giving critique or they're commenting about something that they may not agree with or they may not like about a public figure or a celebrity. Not everyone is jealous and not everyone is a hater. I'm definitely not a hater of Carlos King, have no desire to be him, have no desire to have anything that he has, right? But I can critique because he is a public figure. So I feel like people like Carlos King and other public figures, they need to understand when you are on this pedestal of being in the public, you're going to get critiqued. And I'm not saying that all of the criticism that a lot of public figures or celebrities receive is fair, warranted, or justified, but it is something that happens. But it does not mean that someone is a hater. Saying that he is obnoxious, saying that his voice carries a tone that can get under your skin, and saying things about his productions that you don't care for does not make you a hater. So he needs to change that phrase, and I might play that clip too when he said that on the show. But I was listening to it, and what they do in TGIF is they talk about current trending topics in celebrity news and online and things like that. And there were a few stories that kind of resonated. And when he was asked questions or whatever, it was like, wow, I wonder who that's about. Wonder who he's talking about there. But he had some things to say about some of the people that are on some of his productions. And I find it very hilarious because one of the stories was about a guy who was applying for a job as a police officer and he wound up getting arrested. So I'm just going to play the clip and let you guys listen to it.
A man was arrested during an interview at a police department in Arkansas. Apparently, 24-year-old Justin C. Carter applied for the police officer position through an online application while hiding in South Carolina. But they quickly found out that he had warrants out for his arrest in Georgia. What would you do if you were arrested during an interview? And what are your thoughts on this crazy story? Let's go to you first, Carlos, because I know you've dealt with some of this.
With what? Being arrested?
People with records, hiring people with records and stuff like that.
Wow. Well, look, as a reality TV executive, you hire people oftentimes who have a checkered past. We do something called a LexisNexis search. And, right?
Must not be good. They slipping through the cracks.
Listen,
they are making it to cast.
Everybody has a past, right? It's all about how you are your present. So listen, getting arrested doing an interview is not on the bingo card in which I apply. But I will say, if I had to fire any of my reality stars who had a warrant, I would not have any shows on the air.
I think it works great for reality TV. Like, no judging there, but you're applying for a police officer position when you got a warrant out for your arrest, which is, to me, that's what makes it crazy, right?
I know. You should apply to be a dancer on Lizzo's show, not a police officer.
Carlos.
All right, so you heard that. So anybody want to take a guess about who he might be talking about? of course, of course he's talking about Hotel, better known as Arion's baby wipe, because I just found it so ironic that they were talking about this story about a man who was applying to be a police officer and wound up getting arrested while he was there for an interview. And Carlos talks about people with checkered past and if he had to fire people that had been arrested. You know, we know he definitely was talking about Hotel because he definitely wasn't talking about Melody. And I don't know about all of the other casted characters on the show, but this is the one that he goes to bat for. And we know that Hotel used to work in the criminal justice system. And we also know that he has been a part of the criminal justice system. So for whatever reason back then, he chose to overlook it and move forward. He did. And now he's continuing to go to bat for him. And I'm going to play this clip when they're talking about some reality people that Carlos would keep or would say, you know, it's time for them to check out.
Welcome back. Shout out to all the soulmates in the chat. Keeping it popping. We appreciate all the love and make sure you hit that like button. All right, Carlos, what else do you have coming up in the works? And also, do you have a dream interview that you hope will come to fruition on Reality with the King?
That's a good question. So Love and Marriage Detroit is airing now. Bill Collective comes back in November. Love and Marriage Huntsville returns soon. And we got some things in the works, so stay tuned. And my dream guest for Reality with the King is Britney Spears.
Oh, Lord.
I want the exclusive.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we're here for it. Now, Carlos, we can all attest that you are the king of reality TV. So with that being said, we'd like for you to tell us which reality stars should stay in the game or move on to the next.
Oh, Lord.
Are you ready to play? Thank you.
No. Oh, Lord.
All right. We've already been messy, Carlos. So why stop now? Let's cue the music.
Let's go.
All right, Carlos. First up, we have Safari. Should he stay in the game or thank you next?
Stay in the game.
Okay, Carlos. All right, Carlos. How about Drew Sidora? Stay in the game or thank you next?
Stay in the game only if we're going to understand what happened between her and Ralph and if she's dating a woman, allegedly.
Oh.
You said allegedly dating a woman. Now you know.
Well, our mutual friend, Claudia, shut up.
I know.
Next, please.
Carlos. Oh, I know you love this one. Martellholt. Stay in the game or thank you next? It's your boo.
First, you right. Oh, great. Now the melon bee is going to read me. No, stay in the game.
Okay. Let's go to the next shot. Stay in the game or thank you next?
Stay in the game.
All right, Carlos, what about...
All right, so if you caught that, it may have glitched a little bit, but they asked him about should Martell... I hate using his real name. Every time anyway, they asked him about Martell, but did you catch that? Claudia said, this is your boo. And I believe that he definitely is. He's just so disgusting. But of course, he said he should stay. He should stay in the game, not get out of it. And most of us believe that he has no business being on anyone's television screen. He really just needs to, in my personal opinion, get off of television, get a real job, give Melody full custody of the kids, have visitation, because he's not even equipped. He's not equipped mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or financially. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be able to be in the children's lives, but we've seen him display some terrible behavior, and most of us believe, most of us do, that when he does have the kids in his custody, when it is his time to have the kids, that all he's doing is letting other people watch the kids while he's rolling up and down the roads, going back and forth to Atlanta, not really to see Sheree, because we know that wasn't a real relationship anyway, but just going to see whoever he's going to see, screwing whoever he's going to screw. He's not equipped to be a real dad. And that's one of the reasons why he used to try to talk about how much he was the one that was doing everything, working, cooking, cleaning, praying with the kids, teaching them how to say their prayers, teaching them how to brush their teeth. Like, he was trying to make it seem like he was super dad that was doing everything. And nobody believed that. But he was doing those things to try to put himself in a light that he was the one that was the responsible one, while he was trying to make it seem like Melody was just out running the streets, trying to get her youth back, or trying to live a life carefree and pursue her passions of what she wanted to do in her career, or just trying to make it seem like she was some girl who's just going to the club all the time and sleeping around. And that's why he tried to put those labels on her of being an HOE, which we know is a lie. He's disgusting. You know what I mean? So to see Carlos sitting there smiling and laughing, giggling and kikiing and saying that Martell should stay, I don't even believe that it's beneficial to him financially for Martell to continue to be on his shows. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about him, but the views have gone down, you know, so I don't see it being beneficial to him. And then they asked him about Maurice Scott, and he said that, you know, he should stay. Again, like Melody said, one of the least relevant people on the show. So I don't know if that was Maurice's fire to showcase more of himself of being an asshole on the show, and that's why he has been doing the things that he's been doing in public and on television when it comes to his wife, and just showing how much of a bad partner and bad husband that he is, because Melody called him out. Because I'll be honest, I never really paid attention to him before. I really didn't. And it wasn't because of Melody saying that. It was really when Melody said that, when it was like, it opened my eyes to say, yeah, like, what does he really do? Because I never really paid much attention to him. I paid more attention to Kimmy than I paid to him. So Melody was absolutely right. But of course, Carlos says, no, he should stay. So it's just kind of funny to me that this is his thoughts and views. But I mean, I understand from the perspective of him being the producer of these shows, he doesn't want to be the one, especially on camera, to say, no, these people need to leave. But it was funny, and I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So yeah, I just thought it was funny, very, very ironic that Carlos was sitting in for Funky Dineva, and he was on this episode where they're discussing a guy who got arrested, and he talks about people with checker pass, and if he had to, you know, pass on 5 people that had checker pass, he wouldn't even have his shows. I mean, I know that he was talking about Hotel, and it's like, well, you could have a show without that creep, but you choose to keep him, as you heard him express on this show as well, that he would definitely keep him. He's like, yeah, he's a keeper. And we heard Claudia call him his boo, and most of us definitely do believe that. He loves that N-word for whatever reason, but most of us can't stand it. And anyway, I just wanted to talk about it, guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.